Did you know that the very first assembly of photographs to create a motion picture was a 2-second clip of a black man on a horse?
Nope was on my list of being one of the more anticipated films of the year. In the past, Jordan Peele showed and flexed his potential as a director to take serious in the industry, especially in the horror field. His 2 films show this, giving us his iconic 2017 debut film, Get Out, and a solid 2019 follow-up with Us. And now comes his 3rd entry to his ever-growing filmography, Nope, featuring both Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer as our 2 horse-ranching leads. Along with Peele's crew is legendary cinematographer Hoyt van Hoytma and composer Michael Abels, a frequent collaborator. So, with a stacked and talented cast, the end product should be good, right? Jordan Peele takes a leap of faith as having made 2 horror films. For him to take a turn and offer a sci-fi thriller slated for the summer led me to having mixed thoughts on the project, considering Us kinda took some of the wind out of me back in 2019. But he did it, and did a commendable job at it. Not only that, the chemistry between Kaluuya's OJ and Palmer's M is impeccable, Daniel playing the straight and reserved brother to Kiki's more energetic and expressive sister never misses a beat. Supporting our 2 leads are Steven Yeun's Jupe, Brandon Pera's Angel, and Michael Wincott's Antlers, all playing their role very well. But how some of those performances tie in with the overall story that Peele is telling us is mixed to say the least. In terms of the technicals, the cinematography and score are great. Both veterans in their craft, previously worked on some all-time great films. And they don't miss a beat at all here in the visual and audible storytelling that happens throughout. From the cold and howling visuals at night, to Peele's signature violin cracks that happen during tense sequences. And something that I finally picked up on, Jordan Peele knows how to instill fear and tension. Here, he's really having a time playing with the audience. Not even from a horror standpoint, but even some of the events that happen in the back half of the film. The back half being the more entertaining part of the film. After the slow build-up that happens in the first half, where most of the laying of the groundwork happens. And the film really is a tale of 2 halves. The first part reminding me of Get Out, and the second half being more of an extraterrestrial Hollywood experience, akin to something like Steven Spielberg's Close Encounters of the Third Kind, or maybe even something like Tremors back in the 90s. This is definitely a film to see in the cinema, and it's honestly refreshing to feel satisfied by independent creations like The Northman, or like Nope doing well critically and financially. But as the film is great, it isn't perfect. If you don't want to get spoiled, skip this part of the video. The main problem with the film is how very messy the storytelling is. Peele's always embedded a central theme or subtext in his films, but the saturation of that said subtext varies from movie to movie. Get Out gets a good balance of how to use metaphors and imagery to tell a story, while Us is fairly at your face and easy to dissect. Nope, on the other hand, lands at the opposite end of the spectrum. While we eventually learn the main themes, being the abuse of people in Hollywood and the idea of man versus nature, there are aspects of the storytelling that weaken the harvest of said meaning of the film. Jupe's development being the weakest aspect. Now I get his purpose in the story being OJ's opposite in the film. Both experience rare and traumatic events with the upright shoe and the coin falling from the sky. Both using animals in the entertainment business, and both of their ideologies on how to tame and understand said animals, and eventually, Jean Jacket. While I eventually got to that conclusion, it was way too messy in the storytelling to fully realize while watching. I felt like their dynamic was underdeveloped to make the needed fulfilling punch to the audience. That left the story and its purpose understandable, but feeling unfinished at the end of the day, so to speak. But while the story has its flaws, everything else about the film is great. This really bodes well with Jordan Peele's direction in film, expanding his portfolio to show that he isn't a one-off, and he isn't just tied to one genre. It leaves me with more confidence in him to experiment even further in the future, going beyond the facets of Get Out, Us, and now Nope. I'm feeling a very good 7.5 out of 10.